Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another weird news report. So exciting. Another week, another weird news report. That's what I like to say. Let's go on to our first article. 42,000 pounds of missing pistachios leads to possible illegal pistachio operation. A few days ago, there was a pistachio company in California that was doing like a routine audit. And they noticed that 42,000 pounds of pistachios had gone missing. Well, it was recently discovered that a tractor trailer has been discovered in a trucking lot, right? A nearby trucking lot. And inside were the missing pistachios in 2,000-pound sacks. Apparently, there was a trucker. I don't know how he had done it, but he had stolen, a shipment of pistachios, moved it to this trucking lot, and planned to move the pistachios into smaller bags for resale. That's a lot of pistachios. That's 42,000 pounds. That's 21 tons of pistachios. That's kind of ambitious, don't you think? Could you imagine trying to sell 21 tons of pistachios? That'd be a lot of work. I kind of admire this guy's hustle. Stealing a ton of pistachios, more than a ton, 21 tons of pistachios. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of potentially a lot of money. A lot of money's worth of pistachios. So I imagine this guy that had stolen these pistachios is going to probably face felony charges. Let's move on to our next article. Keep Amazon's Jeff Bezos from returning to Earth. Petitions beg. Last week I covered a story where there's a petition there's a petition urging Jeff Bezos to buy and eat the Mona Lisa as like a statement or something. But the thing is, like, you totally could, probably, if it was for sale, if the Mona Lisa was for sale. That's the biggest issue, is that it's not for sale. And also, I don't think Jeff Bezos wants to eat the Mona Lisa. But now you have a petition. Jeff Bezos, is going to head to space next month in a rocket. Now, a petition with more than 20,000 signatures is asking Bezos to just be denied re-entry to Earth. This is kind of funny. What is the petition reads? Jeff Bezos is actually Lex Luthor, disguised as the supposed owner of a super successful online retail store. However, he is actually an evil overlord hell-bent on global domination. We've known this for years. And it goes on to mention Masonry, the Knights Templar, Jeffrey Epstein, and it ends with, "This may be our last chance before they enable the 5G microchips and perform a mass takeover." So this is kind of a weird petition. Another petition that's similar, it's called "Do Not Allow Jeff Bezos to Return to Earth," has even more signatures. It has 50,000 signatures. Wow. Both of those have more signatures than the petition urging Jeff Bezos to eat the Mona Lisa, buy and eat the Mona Lisa, which only has like 12,000 signatures. I think this is a good idea. Keeping Jeff Bezos in space. I think it's kind of funny. Anyways, let's move on to our next article. South Carolina court halts executions until the state's new firing squad option is finalized. South Carolina has been having trouble recently where the contents for the lethal injections, right? They can't find, the contents that are needed to perform a lethal injections. Like, they can't find the ingredients, right? And that means that inmates on death row usually have to postpone their executions because they can't find the drugs required for the lethal injections. So South Carolina is wants to give prisoners more options to death, and prisoners can choose either between electrocution, electric chair, or a firing squad. Lethal injection is unavailable because it's just so hard to find, the drugs that are needed to perform it. I think that's what's happening. But right now, the firing squad option is not available because the electric chair. Actually, I don't know why. They haven't developed and implemented appropriate protocols and policies to carry out executions by firing squad. Seems like a lot of work. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you just don't execute prisoners? It'd be a lot easier. And then you could stop accidentally sending innocent people to death on accident, which is this thing that happens, which is kind of terrifying. This is good news for death row inmates, I guess, because they still can't get executed. Their executions are still being postponed. Wow, great job, South Carolina. I don't know. Let's move on to our next story. California's historic drought is causing drinking water to taste like dirt. Officials say just add lemon. Yeah, so this is happening in Sacramento. There's a combination of crises that are happening. Extreme heat, very little precipitation, and I mean, this has been going on for a while, but right now, during the hot summer months, it's particularly bad. In the drinking water in Sacramento has decreased right around this time, and that's lead to an increase in the concentration of geosmin. Geosmin? I think that's how you pronounce it. I looked it up before I did this video, but I can't remember. Geosmin. Geosmin is one of two organic compounds that gives soil its smell. So it also makes the water taste like dirt. But officials say it doesn't taste good, but it's safe to drink. The city's utility spokesman, Carlos Ellison, said, "We realize that it's unpleasant. The earthy taste that some of our customers are experiencing is harmless and can be neutralized by adding some lemon or putting it in the refrigerator." And this is usually, it says that water levels are lowest during late summer or early fall. So this isn't even as bad as it's going to get in Sacramento with their dirty, dirty tasting water. But apparently, at their at the water treatment plants, they can add processes to remove some of the geosmin from the water to make it taste less like dirt. But this is significant of a larger overarching issue related to climate change, right? And how that's making the droughts worse and affecting the water supply. Very, very, very sad story, but I'm sure it'll all work out. Yeah. Let's move on to our next story. This is weird. Redneck Rave at Kentucky Park ends with 48 people charged, throat slashing, and an impalement. So recently in Kentucky, there has been a 5-day party billed as the Redneck Rave. dozens of people were criminally arrested. I guess you just say arrested, right? Criminally arrested is a bit redundant. The organizers said that the Redneck Rave was all about mud, music, and mayhem. Well, 14 people were arrested at this event, and 34 people were charged, cited on criminal charges that ranged from assault and strangulation to drug and alcohol possession. One man apparently had his throat slit. A woman was allegedly choked until she was losing consciousness. And a person was accidentally impaled by a log that pierced the floorboard of his vehicle. Jesus. Yeah. And the organizer of this event said on Facebook, like, well, we're going to have this again next year. Hopefully we're going to try to make it a little safer. Craziness. But I guess not that surprising. Let's move on to our next story. Emergency crew rescues sex doll after mistaking it for drowning women. Yes, it happened again. Another rescue well, this is actually kind of sad because the poor emergency rescue crew has spent all this work just to save a life-size sex doll. But I'm excited because when someone mistakes something for a real human, like when someone mistakes an inanimate object for a real human and calls the police, I have to do a story about it. This is like the 4th time that this has happened. A team of emergency rescue divers responded to a nude drowning woman, only to discover it was actually a floating life-size sex doll. Yeah, it happened in Japan. Hilarious, what a blunder. Japanese people can mistake sex dolls for real people also. Previously, I think this has only happened in America, if I'm right about that. Maybe there's one that happened in Canada. I can't remember. But finally, this happened somewhere else. Hilarious, what a blunder. At least a real woman wasn't drowning. Yeah. Let's go on to our next story. Nebraska man makes 60 naked skydiving jumps in 24 hours. He was dressed in nothing but his safety equipment. My first thought is, wouldn't that chafe? Think about it. That would not be very comfortable, I don't think. I don't exactly know how the safety equipment on parachutes work, but I can't imagine that it's particularly comfortable to wear without wearing clothing. But alright. It's the record for the most naked skydiving jumps in 24 hours. Previously, the record was 24. Right? 24 jumps in 24 hours. But now this guy's raised the bar to 60 naked skydiving jumps. Could you imagine making 60 skydiving jumps in 24 hours? Much less nude? That's a lot of skydiving jumps. Apparently, it's a tradition for skydivers to perform their hundreds jumps naked. I don't get that so much, but apparently it's a thing. Wouldn't that be like a lot of money? Doesn't it take a lot of money to be able to jump out of an airplane once? That's a thing. People are paying money to jump out of airplanes. That's weird, right? I don't know, but that's more just of a skydiving thing. 60 naked skydiving jumps in 24 hours. Well, you know what? Good for this guy. His name is Ryan Canoff. Good for Ryan Canoff. Let's move on to our next story. Do we have another story? We don't have another story. That's it. That's all the weird news that we have. So what a great week of weird news, I think. Thanks for watching, I guess. And have a good rest of your week. I've never said that before, but I can't remember how I usually end these. And I don't know how to stop, so I'm just going to keep on talking until the video ends.